lecture in fermented milks and untapped market of a historical food with modern application. So welcome, sir.
Thank you, Shivkumar. Thank you. Can I share the slides now? Is it audible, Shivkumar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Yeah, can I share the slides now?
Yes, sir.
I think now you can see this is my slide. Is it okay now?
Okay, sir.
Screen is, I think you can see the display. Is it all right? Slides are being displayed?
Yes, sir.
Clear, na? Now I can start.
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. And thankful to Sunil because he was expressing his views and experience in that. His views are very much related for the today's webinar. What I can say, entrepreneurship in dairy processing. Very good. That in a remote place like Ladakh. The question of winter was from my side. What was the situation in the winter? Because it goes up to -20, -30. So what they were doing, actually, they are producing the milk or not. Yes, it is exactly 4 months they are going to shut down the plant. Okay. So the topic given for me today is again the fermented milks. Now, really, it is an untapped market of a historical food with a modern application. Before going to that, I wanted to say we Indians are orthodox in nature. We conduct a lot of pujas, homa, havana, and all those things. After that, after the puja, we are being served with the Panchamrita. Amrita, it is an Amrita, is a life-saving one. Panchamrita, which contains 5 ingredients, Pancha, 5 ingredients. Of them, 3 are from milk. Basically, cow milk, then it is a curd, and then it is a ghee. Other 2 are cow urine and honey. Okay. Curd, again, if I come to that, it is a basic Indian historical fermented milk product. See, that is the importance of the fermented milk products in Indian history or Indian culture. Now, when we come to this, going to the real topic, let me tell you what are my topics or contents of my presentation today. That it includes the current market scenario of milk and fermented milk products in India as well as the world. Then what are fermented milk and milk products, types of fermented milk products in India and worldwide, then methods of manufacturing of these individual fermented milk products. Next, health benefits of these fermented milk products. Then what is the scope of these fermented milk products in the world of international market as well as the Indian market? Then finally, a word of caution for the production of the fermented milk products, dairy products. Finally, the conclusion. If you go to the current situation, world situation, as everyone says and the world knows, we are the number 1 in the milk production in the world, having a contribution of 20% of the global market in milk, producing around 187.52 million milk tons per year, and expected to grow to 200 million tons by 2022. Now, if you say this, on an average, every day, we are procuring around 512 million liters per day. What is the processing? It is only 98.3 million liters we are processing. That means around 18% is being handled in the organized sector, and remaining, or you can call it as 82% or 81%, it is in the unorganized sector. Now, what it says, and it is growing, the organized sector growth is good enough. CARG, that is a cumulative annual average growth rate, is around 18.9, roughly 19% from 2015 to 2020. That means we have a lot of opportunity in the market to grow. Now, today's topic is the fermented products. A global fermented milk products market size is roughly 19.632 or 633 billion dollars. It was in 2018, and it is going to reach around 30 billion rupees by 2026 with a growth rate of average growth rate of around 5.1 from year 2019 to 2026. Now, if you come to the same fermented dairy products in India, it is the major is the curd. Second comes the yogurt, recently introduced, maybe a decade back, which is which was around 350 billion rupees in 2017. Even cheese is being produced in India, the share or market value or market share is very low. It's valued around $17.5 billion in 2017. But if you think of the growth rate of this, both curd, fermented milk, yogurt, and the cheese are growing at a rate of 18% between the year 2015 to 2020, which indicates an entrepreneur will have a bigger share, bigger opportunity for the growth. Since India is a very thickly populated and second populated country in the world, if you even we are producing so much fermented products and consuming, if you take it per capita consumption of dahi in India, it is altogether 2.5 kg per year per head. In that packaged, in the sense organized sector produced is only 0.3 kgs. Whereas if you compare to the more matured markets such as France or other developed countries, it is 30 kg per year per capita consumption. One, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you can have a beautiful, you have got a beautiful opportunity and a much market share, you can sell your products. Now, why to establish these fermented dairy products? It is because currently, if you take the average expenditure in food, in that 15% of the household expenditure, food expenditure is on milk and milk products, milk-based products. Particularly in India, milk and milk-based products comes to only milk plus some traditional sweets as well as the fermented products, particularly dahi, lassi, chakkar, sweet. Okay. The other one is in India, 31% of the population is vegetarian. Their main source of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, all the nutrients, what you call it as, it is the milk and milk products only. That means it is giving again a big opportunity for the entrepreneur to get entry into that. Apart from that, disposable income of the Indians is growing and we are second populated country in the world, which means in that 60% of the population is between the age of 15 to 59. That indicates where the significant potential growth of the Indian dairy market. That is why the current topic given to me is untapped market of the potential historical fermented dairy products. Yes, exactly. One can think of. Now, let me go into the proper topic instead of explaining the market, how it is the fermentation, what are the products, how it is being produced. Before going to this, let us know what is fermentation in food processing. Fermentation is a food processing, typically is conversion of carbohydrates into alcohols and carbon dioxide or organic acids using either bacteria or yeast or combination thereof under anaerobic conditions or microaerobic conditions. In the other words, or simple words, fermentation is a simple term, in simple terms, is the chemical conversion of sugars into ethanol. That is the non-dairy products like alcohols, like wine or whiskey, beer or anything like. The science of fermentation is also known as zymology or zymergy. Now, how old this fermentation technology or fermented foods are there in the history or in the world? If you take it, history of use of fermented foods as ancient as the human history. 7,000 years ago, people drank wine in the Babylon, 5,000 years ago in Egypt, 4,000 years ago in Mexico, 3,000 years ago in Sudan. When it comes to India, we heard of the term somajus in the Maharaja's time, where the Maharajas and his Mantri Mandal used to drink somaras, we call it as, that is alcohol beverages. It is as old as 3,000 years to the Indian history. Then when you classify these fermented foods basically into two types. One is only acid producing fermented foods, that's lactic acid fermented foods. Other one is lactic acid with alcohol with gas. Based on this, in the world, there are many types of fermented dairy products are available. If we come to India, it is dahi, lassi, srikhand, as well as we have chas in North India, what you call it as. Yogurt, basically it is from Turkey as per the history, and it is being produced worldwide now, including India. There are certain products which are having both alcohol, both acid, as well as the carbon dioxide. The example for these are kefir, kumis, and tete. So kefir is from Caucasus country, as well as kumis is from Kazakhstan, and tete was Scandinavian ropey milk. It is actually. Now we have other fermented milk products like Bulgarian sour milk, acidophilus milk from Armenia, cultured buttermilk, that is nothing but our chas from India, sour cultured milk, cultured cream from Europe. See, when we heard of the word sour cultured milk, I want to tell you something here. When we prepare any non-vegetarian food, particularly biryani, when we say the name biryani, the secretion starts in your mouth. Why? That is the taste of the food and the quality of the food. For preparation of a good quality biryani or any non-vegetarian foods, the cultured sour cream is being used, which is going to induce a peculiar flavor because of the fermentation of the cream and added flavor by the sour cream, where this cream is being used. It is also called as thick cream in German, that is Gammer, which is being produced and sold in German and part of Europe, as well as most of the part of the Middle East. Then like chas or lassi, like chas, it is not lassi, laban, it is the milk, cultured milk product, a thin one, not thicker. It is nothing but cultured milk, cultured buttermilk. Then tete, it is from Scandinavian, ropey milk from the Scandinavian country. Then it is Kair, it is from the Iceland. Again, it is a thicker one in the total solids. I'll tell all the details in the production chart. Okay, the next one is a cheese, which is worldwide famous. Now the question mark I have put here in front of China. The history says it is being made in the Middle East, it is being Egypt, it is being made in the other countries. But Chinese are claiming cheese is first made by us. But anyhow, this fermented product is famous or produced and consumed throughout the world now. What are the health benefits of these fermented products? There are plenty health benefits and people want healthy foods now. Among them, fermented products are one. Now, in the world, if you take lactose intolerance, it ranges from 5 to 50% or even 80%, depending on the geographical area. On an average, in the world, it is on 45 to 50% of the people are lactose intolerant. Consuming these fermented products is going to, what you call that, avoid this lactose intolerance, or the lactose intolerant persons can also consume this. The lactose intolerance is due to just bypassing the digestion of the lactose in the small intestine, enters into the large intestine. There the bacteria acts on and ferments, which is going to produce gases, organic acids, and other osmotically active molecules, which are going to irritate your bowel, and other symptoms are going to be produced. This is due to the lack of the enzyme lactase, which is there in the small intestine, which is secreted and digested here itself. That is broken down to glucose and galactose, and then it is being normal stool there, normal absorption there. So in India, if you take the lactose intolerance percentage, it is varying from 5 to 85%. A place like Northeast, a place like Kerala, it is roughly 80-85% of lactose intolerant people are there. Whereas In a place like Punjab and Haryana, where we are sitting and conducting a seminar, it is around 5 to 10%, because where the milk consumption is more, in the other way, wherever the milk consumption is more, there the lactose intolerance less, and wherever the consumption is less, there the lactose intolerance is more. Then the other benefits like cholesterol control, we have the benefit of cholesterol control by consuming these fermented products. These are anti-cancerous, because these fermented products are having certain peptides which are going to fight against the cancer. That is why it is anti-cancerous. And then it is going to give energy, because the two molecules of glucose and galactose, which are more in energy, we are having the energy foods. And immunity is because of the proper absorption due to the breakdown of the proteins, production of your vitamins, as well as production of other peptides, amino acids, which are going to be absorbed and improve the immunity of the person who is consuming. Then longevity of the life. One of the example is consumption of Bulgarian buttermilk by the scientist, which who had done a lot of work, and after that only the consumption of fermented products increased. Matt Kopchin, who might have heard of this, and he had written the book in 1980 itself. So that enlightened the consumption and benefited the persons, helped in improving the consumption of the fermented dairy products. Now, again, in India, there is one notion or the one thing said by our parents, that is, if you have diarrhea, just have the buttermilk. That is true, because you have after diarrhea, lot of your intestinal flora are being discharged and they are being affected. Now, to replace them, to re-ingest them, just consume the curd. That is again a fermented product. It is going to be, and it may be a viral or whatever it may be. It is going to be replaced, and it is going to fight. Your fermented products are going to fight against it. And we have the inflammatory bowel diseases. Yes, they are going to be, because of the ingestion of the healthy microbes, bowel microbes. Then hypertensive effect. That means hypertension can be controlled with this, because of the particular peptides present in the fermented dairy products or the fermented milk products. Then I heard and read also, it is anti-diabetic, particularly, especially type 2 diabetes can be controlled with the by consuming the fermented dairy products, particularly yogurt or dahi. Now, we'll go one by one. Production chart of all the dairy products, whatever we have mentioned. Here in India, dahi production is one which is being done at the home in large. But nowadays, recently, it is being produced in the organized sectors. Now, this fermented product, dahi, is being produced either by cow milk or water buffalo, that is a buffalo milk, or combination thereof. It's a lactic acid bacteria product. Now, it is a typical product which contains a mixed culture. It is not a single culture or specialized culture like yogurt culture. It has got S. thermophilus, L. lactis, subspecies lactis, Lactococcus lactis, subspecies cremoris, Lactococcus lactis, subspecies lactis, with that diester lactis for the flavor, and Lactobacillus helveticus, Lactobacillus casei, Lactobacillus acidophilus, and many more culture or organisms, starter organisms are there in the dahi culture. It depends again. It is not same everywhere in the region, everywhere in India. It varies with the region, geographical area. So I read around 40 types of starter organisms are there in dahi, depending on the region. It varies with maybe the dahi prepared in Haryana, like Hisar, dahi prepared in Ludhiana, dahi prepared in Panchkula may not be same. Even Karnal, it may not be same. When you go to Bangalore, if you prepare that dahi, if you analyze, may not be same. That is why it is a localized cultures which are being used, and it includes in the broad S. thermophilus, Lactobacillus cultures, and Lactococcus cultures. Now, dahi, as we know, as per earlier BIS, now the FASA, it is being classified into two types. One is Sweet dahi, other is sour dahi. Sweet dahi is having around 0.7% acidity, sour dahi 1% and more. The pH is roughly 4.5 to 4.7. It permits around 10 coliform count of 10 per gram and eastern mode count of less than 10 per 100 per gram. The remaining things composition is being given here. Now when you go to the manufacturing, normally there are three varieties of these are being sold in India. One is low fat, medium fat, high fat. Depending on the manufacturer, depending on the seller, it is either low fat, medium fat, or high fat. Low fat is anywhere between 0 to 1% or less than 1% is a low fat. 1 to 1.5% is a medium fat, or 1 to 1.5 to 3% is a medium fat here. We call it as toned milk fat, toned milk dahi, which is being sold everywhere in India. Most of the companies are selling the toned milk dahi. The other one is high fat, buffalo milk, what we call it is a 6% fat milk, 5 to 6% fat. So there are three types of dahi. Now for this, we will issue the milk, raw milk, and we will preheat it. Then filtration and clarification, any suspended particles are the clarification, which is to remove even the part of the suspended particles. Then standardize it. Normally for dahi making, it is around SNF. As I was telling you, fat is the varying component. So the SNF, which is normally maintained around 11, 9 to 11. If fat is more, SNF is maintained around 9. If it is fat is less, like suppose the low fat, it is up to 13% SNF is being maintained. To maintain a total solids of around 14% to get a proper setting. Now then it is being preheated, then homogenized. Yes, compulsory homogenization is required, because otherwise you are going to get a creamy layer on the surface, which is not going to be. And the curd formed is also may not be uniform. It's like a grainy curd, what we get it if it is not homogenized. Uniform texture will not be there. Then pasteurization, yes, it is heated at higher temperature, 90 degrees centigrade for 5 minutes. Your PHC plated exchanger can be used with the holding tubes, with a different lengths of holding tubes to achieve a time of 5 minutes holding at 90 degrees centigrade, or any other time temperature combinations which is required. This is done to achieve the denaturation of whey proteins and making a complex with the kapha casein or a casein, then which is going to produce the firmer curd, viscous curd. That is why higher heating is very much required in case of the pasteurization. Then cooling to 30 to 35 degrees centigrade for inoculation. Inoculum depends on the season as well as the type of the curd. It is being up to 1 to 3% of lactic starter cultures are being added. In the summer, maybe lesser because the climate itself is so. So based on the season, you may add 1 to 3% starter culture. Then it is being packed. After packing, it is being incubated in the room temperature. Normally in India, particularly in central India and South India, they are being incubated at the normal room temperature, because the room temperature itself is sufficient, around 30-35. That's more than sufficient for 5 to 6 hours, or acidity of 0.7 or pH of 4.5. The dahi is ready, then it is to be cooled and stored for dispatch. Next comes the yogurt, the worldwide known product, specialized cultured product, which is being produced and consumed worldwide. It is known because of its flavor, texture, and body. Food produced by the bacteria fermentation, it is. The specialized culture like STLB, we call it as Streptococcus thermophilus and the Lactobacillus bulgaricus, which is being used. A mixed culture is being used to produce the different types of end products, flavoring compounds, which are very much required to induce the flavor. The major flavoring compound is acetaldehyde, which ranges from 2.4 micrograms to 41 micrograms per gram. There are other background flavor inducing components, which are like acetoin, diacetyl, and acetone. Acetone around 1 to 4 micrograms per gram. Acetoin is around 2.5 to 5 micrograms, as well as diacetyl, which is a flavor of the butter. It is around 0.4 to 13 micrograms per gram of the yogurt, which are going to give a distinct flavor profile to the yogurt. Now again, the acidity of the yogurt, if you consider, It is roughly 0.7 to 0.8%. Again, the coliform count less than 10 and Eastern mode. Yogurt market had been developed so much that you can get plenty variety of yogurt, starting from a plain yogurt to there are plenty of yogurts. It is a plain set yogurt, plain stirred yogurt, or your drinking yogurt, or Greek yogurt, frozen yogurt, flavored yogurt, fruit yogurt. There are many variety of yogurts are being produced. Now, normally what we get in the market is normal. The maximum sold one is the set yogurt, set plain yogurt. We have the other varieties too. To go for the production chart of this yogurt, I was working in the yogurt plant for 5 years. It's a beautiful product where we call the mix which is prepared for preparing the yogurt is called as yogurt mix. We receive the milk, we standardize it to the required fat. That is normally around 14% TS is maintained, depending on again the nil fat yogurt, medium fat yogurt, low fat yogurt, high fat yogurt. But total solids are maintained around 14%. Then a small amount of stabilizers are being added, around 0.1 to 0.3% stabilizers are being used to have a proper setting as a proper texture. So that is being used and the mix is prepared. After mix is prepared, it is being pasteurized. This mix is pasteurized. Then we have to decide whether to go for a set yogurt, stirred yogurt, or a drinking yogurt. Now, based on the type of the yogurt to be produced, we have to go for the procedure. If it is a set yogurt, if it is a plain yogurt, set plain yogurt, not the flavored yogurt. Set yogurt, there is no need to add the flavor. We have to add the culture. It is ready for inoculated. It is ready for packing. After packing, it is to be incubated at a temperature around 40 to 43 degrees centigrade until we get a pH of 4.5 to 4.6, so that it is being cooled after that. After this, it is being taken to the cold room where it takes another 1 hour or 45 minutes to cool it, that too with a blast cooling system, so that by that time the pH will come down to 4.4 to 4.3, so that is a proper acidity of the yogurt. That is the set yogurt filled into the cup. Now, if you want the stirred yogurt, it is being incubated, then it is being cooled after that, stirred by adding flavor. If it is required, stirred flavored yogurt, flavor is being added and stirred well. Then it is being packed and cold stored. Before sending into the cold store, it is being cooled. The coagulum is broken, cooled, flavor and other things are added and packed. If you go for the drinking yogurt, where the total solids are less in that, like what we call it is a lassi. Lassi weight, how much? It is so 6 to 8% of total solids are there. Particularly chas, around 6% total solids are there. Yes, the same is true with your yogurt also, where the mix is prepared with so much of total solids, then it is being inoculated, incubated, the mix is being broken. Depending on what type of yogurt you are producing, drinking yogurt, whether it is a flavored drinking yogurt, fruit drinking yogurt, sweetened drinking yogurt, based on that you add the ingredients. After that, you have to homogenize them, then you have to cool them and pack them. That is non-pasteurized, low shelf life, maybe 1 week life. If you, after mixing and producing the yogurt, if you homogenize it, and aseptically you have to pack it. That is the one condition. If you do the pasteurization and after that homogenization, aseptic conditions are very much required, so that aseptically packed and the keeping quality will be more than 2 months. Then if you go for the another one, UHT treated aseptically packed yogurt drinks like Amul Chas, which we are able to drink, get in the Tetra Pak sachets. Yes, that is the UHT treated one, which is aseptically packed. Then it can be stored at the ambient temperatures. Like that, there are many varieties of yogurts can be produced and it is being sold. Depending on what we are going to produce, the procedure changes. Cultures remains the same, ingredients remains the same. The standardization procedure, the packing production procedures changes. Next comes kefir. As I told you earlier, there are three products, kefir, kumis, and tete are the three products which are having lactic acid, alcohol, and carbon dioxide products in it. It is produced in the mountains of Caucasus and made with the kefir grains. Plus, these are nothing but the yeast and the bacterial fermentation, starter fermentations are being used. Normally, the starter organisms are Streptococcus lactis, Beta-Bacterium cacaceum, plus the kefir grains or yeast grains, which are being used for production of kefir. Kefir is having particularly little sour in nature, around 0.19 to 1% of lactic acid, and alcohol of 0.5 to 1%, and carbon dioxide also around 0.03 to 0.07% carbon dioxide. There are traces of other background flavor giving flavoring compounds also, that is acetaldehyde, diacetyl, and acetylene, like in case of yogurt. Apart from that, the beauty of this product is around 7% of the total nitrogen available in the product is peptone, and 2% are in the amino acid forms. That is the beauty, easily digestible, and these peptones and other peptides are going to give a lot of health benefits, easily absorbable. Then it has got a lot of vitamin B1, B2, folic acid, and other things. So that is why kefir is being consumed as you can say it as a medicine also, to some extent. It is a food which is like a medicine. Now the production procedure is like this, simple. We have to receive the raw milk, standardize it, 2.1 to 3.3% fat, depending on, again, it is a nil fat or a medium fat product. It is a Russian product, that is from Caucasus mountains, where it is standardized to 1.1 to 3.3% fat. Then it is warmed, heated to 65 degrees centigrade, homogenized at 15 MPa pressure, pasteurized as good as your curd milk, that is 95 degrees centigrade for 5 minutes, then cooled to 20 to 25 degrees centigrade, where the incubation temperature here is lesser, not like yogurt or not like dahi. Yogurt lies between 40 to 43, where dahi is around 30 to 35 degrees centigrade, where kefir is having a incubation temperature of 20 to 25 degrees centigrade. Here, along with the starter cultures, kefir grains are being added and incubated for 24 hours a day. Then they are being cooled again and to 10 to 12 degrees centigrade, and again incubated for ripening. We call it as a ripening, the word ripening. Incubated for another 7 to 8 hours, a total of 31 to 32 hours there we have to incubate it. Now here, why it is incubated for the second round, 7 to 8 hours? I told you in the earlier slide that it has got a lot of peptones and the amino acids. Yes, at a lower temperature, the word is being used as a ripened, not incubated. Yes, definitely that a proteolysis takes place at this time, at 10 to 12 degrees centigrade. Then it is being strained to remove or recover the kefir grains. Then it is being packed, cooled and packed, stored at a lower temperature. That is how the kefir is being produced. The other one is kumis. It is a product from sorry, just a minute. Fermented dairy product kumis is from Kazakhstan. It's a Kazakhstan product. It is a fermented product, not from the cow milk or any other milk. It is from the mare's milk, that is horse milk, female horse milk. It is produced using the liquid starter culture, and kumis has got a higher alcohol percentage than the kefir, plus carbon dioxide also. And it has got even the lactic acid percentage is at a higher side. kefir has got around up to 1% maximum acidity. Here it is up to 1.8%, like a sour curd. Now, alcohol percentage is also 1 to 2%. Carbon dioxide again 0.5 to 9%, 0.9%, roughly 1%. Ethanol is 1.3%. Lactose 2%. And other proteins are there in that, like other products. It is being produced from the major differences from the mare's milk. The production procedure is very simple. Fresh mare's milk is being collected, then it is being filtered with a nylon cloth. It is in the cottage industry type of production still. It is not in the total big industrial level production. So nylon mesh is being used, around 200 mesh one. It is being filtered in that. See, you can see here, it is a product from Kazakhstan. It is being not mentioned anywhere that it is being pasteurized, heat treated, nothing. Directly add the cumin starter culture. That is what is being written in the literature. Maybe it is a direct raw milk product. How much to add the starter culture? It is 1 kg of starter per 15 to 20 kg of fresh mare milk. That is nothing but around 20 to 25%. Now mix them thoroughly, incubate at a lower temperature, 15 to 20 degrees centigrade for 2 to 3 minutes. As the product says, it has got higher alcohol content, higher acidity and carbon dioxide. Yes, the incubation period is also higher, that is 2 to 3 days at 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. And one condition here is, it has to be stirred thrice in a day. That means maybe around once in 6 hours or once in 8 hours, it has to be stirred properly so that it will produce a junket, it produces a liquid having all the required combination of alcohol, lactic acid and carbon dioxide and other things. So then a characteristic alcohol smell formation or the aroma will come. That is the end of the incubation period. So that is how the kumis is being produced and consumed. We have heard of lot of Bulgarian buttermilk. Yes, it has got a, it is nothing but your starter culture of Lactobacillus STLV, Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. The only difference is it is having a wonderful liquid consistency, not a thick consistency as like your yogurt. The other thing is it is having more acidity than your, the name itself indicates sour milk. The not like your yogurt which has got 0.7 to 0.8% of acidity. It is a wonderful probiotic food, and it is being prepared using combination of these two strains of STLV. Now it is very much famous in Bulgaria and the Balkan countries. The preparation is also very simple, like other milks, other products like yogurt. Here we can use either the cow milk or even the goat milk. Until now, any product is not being prepared, whatever we have discussed, not being used, prepared using the goat milk. Is the first, that is the Bulgarian buttermilk, where you can use the goat milk also. The inoculum which is being used is the STLV at a rate of around 1.5 to 2%. And incubated at a higher temperature, or ripened, we call it as ripening at higher temperature, 40 to 45 degrees centigrade. How long to incubate? It is up to get an acidity of 1.4%. It is a sour milk. Then the curd is broken, stirred and packed and stored at 7 degrees centigrade. That is a refrigerated temperature. Next comes acidophilus milk. As a food scientist, we know acidophilus, Lactobacillus acidophilus, well used as a medicine or a treatment or a supportive therapy when you are being given the antibiotics. It is a good probiotic organism, Lactobacillus acidophilus. Now, acidophilus milk is being produced and consumed, especially when we have the intestinal health problem. It will promote the intestinal health, as well as this cultured product is usually low in fat and has got a longer shelf life than the ordinary milk because of the acidity plus other individual ingredients or the constituents produced because of the fermentation. The acidophil millers is usually not recommended for people who have got the immune symptom problems or deficiency, immunodeficiency problems. Such people are not recommended. Lactobacillus acidophilus is the starter culture which is being used, and the acidity is roughly 1%, varying from if it is being used as a medicine, it is up to 6 to 0.7%. Lactobacillus counts are more important here. It is around 20 to 30 into 10 to the power 9 CFU per ml, or 2000 to 3000 million organisms per ml. If you can, again, I want to repeat, 20 to 30 into 10 to the power 9 CFU, colony forming units, live organisms per ml. Acidophilus milk is being produced as follows: receiving either skim milk or whole milk, or to call it is another, again, it is a defatted milk. It is being filtered and clarified like your butter, your yogurt, or the preparation. Then it is homogenized. After that, the condition is sterilization. There earlier, whatever the product we have studied, there it is to be told as pasteurized. But in case of acidophilus milk, it is a sterilized milk which has to be used 150 degrees centigrade for 15 seconds, or any other temperature combinations. Then cool it to 38 to 40 degrees centigrade. Inoculate with the inoculum of Lactobacillus acidophilus 3 to 5%. At a higher side, it is 3 to 5%. It is a slow grower also even, and it produces slow acidity. Then it is incubated at 38 to 40 degrees centigrade for 12 to 16 hours. Then the coagulum is broken. Then it is being packed, cooled at 10 degrees centigrade, and being packed depending on the type of the packaging material what we are using, or the bottles or the containers what we are using. It is being packed and stored at 5 degrees centigrade and distributed for the consumption. That's about the acidophilus milk. Then comes cultured buttermilk, what you call it as a chas. Fermented dairy products known as cultured buttermilk is produced from cow milk and has characteristically just a minute. डॉक्टर साहब, वेबिनार चल रहा है मेरा, बाद में बात करता हूं मैं. Okay, thank you. Sorry, someone was calling. I'm sorry. Milk that has characteristically sour taste caused by the lactic acid bacteria. This variant is made using a different strains of bacteria, either Lactococcus lactis or Lactobacillus bulgaricus, Streptococcus lactis subspecies Diastylactis, Leuconostoc citrovorum. See, other two things like lactis, Diastylactis and citrovorum are being used to enhance the flavor of the product. It has got a different type of strains are producing a different type of flavor. More tartness, that is because of the acidity and flavor and aroma. Acidity is somewhere between 0.8 to 0.85%. That is the medium acid, what we call it as. Then fat is 0.5 to 3%. Low fat to medium % fat products are being produced. The cultured buttermilk is being produced as follows: receiving the milk, filtration and pasteurization, cooling. Pasteurization is 82 to 88 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes, or any other time temperature combination. Then it is cooling to 22 degrees centigrade, inoculated with the selected cultures up to 1 to 2%, like the, then incubated at 21 to 22 degrees centigrade. How long? 12 to 16 hours, or to get an acidity of 0.8 to 0.9% lactic acid. Breaking of the curd, then it is creaming is being done in between, or butter grains are being done in between. If it is a low fat milk, that is what is the milk is used, nothing but skim milk is used. Then creaming or adding the butter grains is being done after breaking the coagulum. Then cooling is to 5 to 10 degrees centigrade, then packaging and storage. The only difference is using the low fat milk or skim milk for manufacturing, like lassi. Chas, low fat chas. The next one is cultured sour cream. As I was mentioning in the earlier slides in the initial stage, these sour creams are very much imparting good flavor to the non-vegetarian dishes. where the meat which is treated with sour cream before preparations, that is going to absorb the flavors of the sour cream, as well as the enzymes present in the sour cream are going to soften the meat and going to going to give a better taste and texture to the non-vegetarian food. So it is being very much used, as well as it is being used in the salads, toppings, and sauces. So this is extremely viscous product with a flavor and aroma of butter because of the culturing, but with a fat content of 12 to 30%. As I was mentioning, when I was working in the Gulf countries, there we used to produce the thick cream, having a fat percentage 25 to 30%. But 25 to 30% cream will be normally not so thick. To make it thicker, we used to add whey proteins, stabilizers, and the skim milk powder so that it will become thick. It is so thick that at a room temperature, we have to push it like a paste, toothpaste. And it is being hot filled, sterilized and hot filled. And it is being called as gamer in Germany, and in Middle East also with the same name. So this cream, thick cream is being used for preparations of all your desserts, cuisines like biryanis. Any variety of including vegetarian biryani, if you use this cultured cream, definitely it will have a very beautiful taste. The starter culture and the fat percentage is varying between 12 to 30, but where gamer is being produced 25 to 30%. The starter cultures are Lactococcus and the Leuconostoc species, which are used. The pH should be around 6.2 to 6.3. The sour cream typically has a clean acidic flavor with hints of diacetyl, and it is consumed as a dressing, toppings on other foods such as fruits also. Production is quite simple. Since it is a thick cream, one has to be very careful while processing it. We can use only the tubular heat exchangers, or if it is a UST produced product, it is a direct steam injection system of UST processing plant which we can use it. It is being fortified with the whole milk and the cream up to 20% fat or whatever the standard required, like 18 to 30%, whichever you require. Then it has to be standardized to that percent fat, then heated to 80 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. Homogenization is must because we are adding the additional cream to that. The proper mixing will take place at 2000, that is 2000 psi or 1500 plus 500 psi, two-stage homogenizer at 60 to 80 degrees centigrade, then cooled to 21 degrees centigrade, inoculated at 0.5 to 1% butter starters to have a butter flavor. Then incubation at 21 degrees centigrade until we get acidity of around 0.6%. Then cooling to 5 degrees centigrade, packaging and storage. Next comes the Sky. It is the Iceland, Scandinavian country product Sky, where it is a traditional product which contains around 7.6% ethanol. It is a sweetened product having 8% sugar and 0.3% pectin, where the stabilizer is also being added. It is homogenized and pasteurized at 73 degrees centigrade, like our normal milk, for 20 seconds. The skim milk is fermented with STLB plus Lactobacillus helveticus as well as helveticus. The lactic acid bacteria similar to those used for the yogurt, along with the lactose fermenting yeast also here. The addition of rennet is also there here. One of the speciality of this Sky is adding rennet. pH should be maintained around 4. The chemical composition is like this. It is a thick product comparing to other fermented dairy products, which is having a dry matter of around 17%, 16.7. And a Sky whey, where the whey is being separated, and that is also being, it is around 5.7%. Then protein 11.5, as well as fat is it is a skim milk product 0.19%, lactose 4.4%, lactic acid 1.75%. It is a sour product, has 0.7. Now production is something different, not like any other processing of fermented dairy products. It is something different. Skim milk is received and it is being pasteurized. Rennet along with the skyr cultures, starters, are being added at a rate of 0.01 to 1% to the fresh skyr. Then fermentation is being carried out at 40 degrees centigrade. Acidification of curd is being done since Thermophilus and Bulgaricus, which are not going to bring upon so much of acidity initially. Since curd, even rennet is being added, the curd gets set without going for a proper acidification. In that case, direct acidification is being done up to 4.65 pH. Then fermentation at 17 degrees centigrade, 16 to 18 hours, that is 4 up to from 4.65 to 4.4 pH is being brought down. The skyr curd is being there in the way it is being cut, cooked at a temperature of 67 degrees centigrade for 15 seconds, then cooled to 30 degrees centigrade. Now here is the difference. They are going to use, or it is being produced by using a basket centrifuge. We call it as a quark separator, where whey is separated and the mass is what you call that, it is like you are producing the chakka in a basket centrifuge, exactly the same. Whey is one side, other side is a chakka. It is a skyr is in the other side, which is having 16 to 70% dry matter. The way which is being used or produced are collected separately, which is being having a 5% dry matter, that is 5% total solids, that is being ultra filtered and to a total solids of retentate of 16 to 17%, which is added back to the sky, and the permeate, which is having a whey, is used for production of whey fruit juice. So this is about the sky which is being produced. A rennet addition is the speciality in this. Next comes Laban or Labane, which is a famous product in the Middle East. Wherever you go in the Middle East, Laban is being consumed and produced at the home level as well as at the industrial level. Now, Laban is an Arabic product, Middle East product. It is also called as Mehrab or buttermilk. It is a Middle East product as well as North African product. To refer to as a food or a beverage of fermented milks. Generally, there are two main products known as Laban in the Levant region and yogurt, or it is in Arabia or in North Africa as Arab buttermilk. There is a mixed microflora which is being used, STLB plus S lactase, which is being used, and the lactose fermenting yeast also can be used. Depending on the manufacturer, again, the starter culture varies. Where I was working in the Middle East, there's one of the company called KDD, Kuwait Danish Dairy, where we used to use the normal yogurt culture plus of yeast culture, yeast fermenting culture is being added. And it is being done like a yogurt and produced like a yogurt, then the curd is being broken. But the only thing is Laban will have a total solids lesser, and it is around 7 to 8% total solids are being used in that. Now, this is the curd is being, after setting, the curd is being broken and it is being made like a chas. Now, the other version of the Laban is Labane. It is nothing but centrifuged Laban, basket centrifuge, where whey is being separated, the curd is being collected. That is called as Labane. It is a nothing but Indian chakka, a base for the Srikhand preparation. So same is true. So it will be having around 7 to 10% fat Labane. Now Laban is produced a simple way like a yogurt, and only difference is what we are going to do is break the curd like while preparing the chas, then it is being added with the water. If it is high TS Laban, where Laban is being produced, then salt is added to the taste, and it is being homogenized and packed and cooled, stored. It is very famous in the Middle East and consumed by almost everyone. Particularly, the demand is to use in the summer. The next product is the tete. Again, it is having alcohol, lactic acid, and carbon dioxide, a gas saturation level carbon to the saturation level. That means high amount of carbon dioxide. This tete is a moderately ropey sour milk product of slightly flavoring of flowing consistency. That means it is not like a breakable curd or a set curd. It is a flowable curd, which contains not more than 0.3 to 0.5% alcohol. This product is used in Scandinavian countries, like Finland. It is produced mainly by fermenting the fresh milk, the strains of S. lactis, variant of Hollandicus, and yeast such as Saccharomyces tete. The composition is like this. The lactic acid is like a sour buttermilk, 1%. Alcohol is 0.3 to 0.5%, less than kefir or kumis, I can say. And acetic acid is there, the traces just to induce the aroma. And carbon dioxide, more of carbon dioxide to a saturation level, like your cold drinks. The beauty of this is a tete leaves are being used in the manufacture of tete. That is the beauty. You go to the flow diagram for the production of the tete. The manufacture of tete, fresh cow milk is collected, inoculated with the tete leaves, butter vat we call it as 1%. Then addition of the starter cultures, the selected yeast plus the bacteria starter cultures, and incubated, that is called as maturation for 2 to 3 days at less than 10 degrees centigrade. So in wooden cellar, that is, these products are being incubated at lower temperature in a cellar, that is at a lower temperature, which is wooden floored and wooden room like, where easily temperature is maintained. Then it is incubated. After that, the tete is ready, which is being used for the consumption, direct consumption. Next fermented products, and the last is the cheese. Cheese, everyone knows, and the previous presentation was cheese by Sunil. And a lot of things everyone knows about the cheese. It is produced worldwide, and it is consumed worldwide, and getting lot of importance. And consumption is improving or increasing the worldwide at a rate of 2 to 3% per annum. That is because of its health benefits, flavor, texture. There are around 1,000 varieties of cheeses which are being produced in the world and consumed. Depending on the type of the cheese, the culture varies, the area and the geographical area, processing methods, fermentation methods. Based on that, there are different varieties of cheeses. If you take it, the largely produced cheese, like if you go to the toothpaste market, anyone you ask, toothpaste, Colgate. The same way, it is a cheddar cheese, which is acquiring the major share of the cheese. That is more than 50% of the cheese produced in the world is cheddar cheese, and the remaining cheeses are there. The second one, which is more common and well-known cheese, is the mozzarella cheese. It is called as pasta paletta cheese, or you can call it as pizza cheese, which is being produced and sold worldwide and consumed. There are some fresh curd cheeses are there. There are some even fermented cheeses are there, and other things. And I don't want to discuss much about the cheese because it itself is a course for the students we are having. There are plenty of cheeses which are there. The most common one is cheddar, mozzarella. And there are many other ones like a Swiss cheese, very famous because of the Swiss I-holes. And there is a ricotta, as well as a persimmon, the most hardest variety of the cheese. Brick cheese because of the shape and its texture. Then feta cheese is there, it is a whey cheese. And Gouda cheese is there, again a hard variety of cheese. Rocky Fort, which is a pungent flavor, it is a mold ripened cheese. And there are many varieties of cheeses, many varieties of procedures are there for producing each variety of cheese. Next, after knowing all this about the fermented products, what is the scope in India and abroad? What is the scope? Why we have to discuss so much about the fermented dairy products? And the topic itself says historical product with modern applications. Yes, we have the modern applications of the historical product. There is a lot of scope for that. Why a lot of scope? Today's consumers are acquainted with and health conscious people. They demand healthy foods. Traditional dairy products, milk products are health friendly as they contains probiotics. So have a big scope, and if made available in a handy form, that is the most important. That is why one of the best example for this handy form is your Yakult. It is a probiotic fermented dairy products from Japan. Handy form, 60 ml bottle, you can just anywhere carry it and have it. So that is the handy form, made it available. That is the one scope what we have got our dairy, traditional dairy products. These products are well established as per their taste and flavor. Hence, we have a large scope for the domestic market. Yes, it is being well-known products. Only thing is we have to tap the market, because I was telling earlier slides in the initially for the introduction, only 18% of the market is being acquired by this organized sector. Remaining, what you call that, 82% is unorganized sector, which we have to tap. Anyone want to enter into the probiotic or your fermented dairy products, this is the big market, 82% market, where we can enter into and establish and have a proper market. Other thing is globalization has cut the distance between countries, and Indians, because of that, Indians are because of globalization, Indians are that we can use this as an opportunity that our Indian taste, Indian products, traditional products can also be sold in those countries to the Indians, as well as we can induce the new flavor or taste to those country people. Then these traditional products technologies are very simple. Hence, anyone can easily adopt by the industry, and they can be produced in the industrial scale. That is another scope we have. To add to the health component more consciously, these can be prepared with low fat, skim milk. What do you mean by that, skim milk and low fat? We have a dual economic problem, dual economic advantages. One is an investor can have a separated cream, that fat and fat products, that's a butter and ghee, are again value added products where you can get another variety of the profit. That's one. As well as selling the skim milk with a value added product, you can make more money. That means it is a dual advantageous product. That is with a health conscious, for the health conscious people. Have a scope for efficient utilization of dairy products for human consumption. It's another scope. If concentrated properly, will prove a definite scope for better returns in the dairy industry in our traditional dairy products. But I have a word of caution for the fermented dairy products, because traditional dairy products are being produced by unorganized sector or non-organized sector people, where there is no awareness of hygienic handling of the milk and processing also. So there needs to cover this number of under the organized sector. I mean to say organized handling, proper hygienic condition, so that we can have a proper hygienically produced product. Otherwise, this unhygienic condition and unorganized handling is going to bring you to a under loss, or it has got a limited use. Then this is a WTO era today. Now, due to the WTO, one has to be cautious to sell your product in the other part of the world, as well as consumers are health consciousness. So it has to be produced very systematically and hygienically to meet the international standards. That's another what you call that barricade we have for producing this. Then these are being produced by the cottage industries. Yes, training of these workers who are engaged in processing of traditional fermented dairy products is very much, which is going to help them to produce a hygienically, keep up themselves hygienic first, and then produce a hygienic product. And it is a challenge for the fermented dairy products. Creating awareness about the proper marketing is also very important, since these fermented dairy products are having the live organisms. Handling is more important. Cold chain is more important. Proper marketing is more important. So it has to be clear. Awareness has to be created for this. Prior to any processing, hygienic milk production is most important. Taken care so that safe milk is available for production of the fermented milk. If it is a contaminated milk itself, like suppose the bacteriophage, the biggest problem, or else if it is contaminated with any other spore forming organisms which are not going to be taken by just heat treatment. So that is the biggest problem one has to take care for the hygienic milk production. Finally, to conclude it, India has a great richness in its traditional food products varying from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. To give an example, Indian traditional food products may be a samosa or a dosa. Samosa from north, dosa from the south. No doubt are liked very much in various parts of the world, not only in India. Traditional fermented milk products of India are most important area we can look forward. The only need is to introduce these traditions gracefully and sophisticatedly to the world, because Indian traditions are something. Given due attention and sincere effort to compete with the quality trends on the international levels, these traditional products can open a window for the best exploration of Indian dairy sector. Eat safe food, be healthy, stay home because of this pandemic. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to present. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Indeed, it was a beautiful talk. It was an informative talk for our students as well as for us as well. As all of us, we have come across some new things, new facts with your discussion and the presentation. And sir, as you know, we are running short of time, so I'll take up a couple of questions which have come to me from the students' side,
Yeah.
and I'll be glad if you can take it, please.
Yeah, please.
So the first question came to me is, thank you, sir. So the first question came to me is like we have two different options in terms of fermented dairy products. Like we can add either the traditional cultures and we can go for the DVS as we do in the commercial aspects. So which is in your opinion is kind of win-win situation to go with the DVS or go with the traditional ones?
If you want to go for the industrial scale of production, it is better the DVS.
Of course, we are talking for the entrepreneur. If we are talking from the entrepreneur point of view, then
yeah, definitely. Definitely. In that case, you can select the individual cultures. You can ask the supplier, DVS culture supplier. It is not that he has to decide. I have to decide what I want. Yes, then you can ask him, you supply this DVS culture form. That is the best way. And you can, so that you can produce a uniform quality cheese, fermented product throughout the year, throughout the region. That's the one. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So the second question is like if an entrepreneur wants to start with some fermented dairy products like dahi and some other fermented dairy products, so what could be the kind of problems he has to encounter at an early stage, and what kind of caution he has to take if he wants to enter into this fermented world sector?
Yeah, definitely. See, I told you in the scope as well as in the caution, word of caution, definitely.
Yeah.
See, there we have to, it is a world of WTO, era of WTO. Now, internationally, you can sell any product anywhere. Only caution is meet the international standards, particularly in India with respect to pesticides, heavy metals, and drug residues. That's the one caution. That is, procure a proper raw material, produce it hygienically. You can sell anywhere in the world. World is very small. Today, I produced it within 2 hours, 3 hours. It is another part of the world. It will be there. It can be sent to the Gulf. It can be sent to America. In 12 hours, you can sell anywhere. And transport is available everywhere. But only thing is, the quality. The term quality is most important. This is the caution what I can say to the entrepreneur. Thank you.
Sir, plus the, you can say the similar question to this is like the shelf life is the one hindrance for the fermented dairy products. So what can be extra points or suggestions from your side? So how we can extend the shelf life of such fermented dairy products so that with the minimum spoilage, with the minimum deteriorative changes, these can be brought from one place to another.
You heard of the your Srikhand, Amarkand from Maharashtra, Kolhapur dairy. Then Amul Chas, Amul Lassi. Can it be stored for 3 months? That is the technology. We have the technology today, UHT sterilization. Yes, we can use it. Yes, if your investment is little bit more, you can invest on UHT. You can sell it anywhere in the world. Your traditional product, you can process it. That is the technology available now. You can use it, you can produce, you can sell. Only thing is technology where we have to use the modern technology and sell it. Otherwise, the normal problem with the entrepreneur in the initial stage is the budget, finance. Finance is the biggest problem. Yes, now government is supporting a lot for the newcomers, startups. There we can go for the production and the proper technology utilization and production so that we can market it. Now, marketing is being done by the third party now. You can be a producer. In their name also they can do it, or in your name itself you can do it, but they demand some commission. That arrangement we can make, and you can internationally sell your traditional product. That's all. Thank you.
And so the last question is, how many maximum number of times the kefir grains can be reused?
Madam, it is reusable. It is again, one thing I have to tell you. Kefir grains are there. They have to be incubated separately before again reusing. It is a treatment. What we are doing, like a mother culture is there, we are producing subculturing and bulk culture. The same way, kefir grains can be re-incubated and reactivated and reused. So there is nothing like so many times only you can use it. Reactivation and re-incubation is very much required for them. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I think with these solutions, all of the students must have been benefited because you have covered each and every minute topic of the fermented dairy products. Like you have given elaborative flow sheets, the scope, the challenges, every aspect you have covered. Thank you so much for your beautiful talk, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Venus, shall I start with the vote of thanks part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's a ritual to us to now say goodbye to everyone. And before this, we have I want to thank each and every one of you who has been in my team member from the starting of this webinar, this 2 days webinar, and lead to its towards the resounding success. First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty God, because it's the blessing of the God, because we are here, we have planned something and we have executed, and we have done it so beautifully. We have done with the good results, and with this not only to the God but to my team members, because they have put a lot of efforts to bring this event into a grand success. And apart from this, I also thank to my administrative staff members, like we are thankful to the GADVASU administration, our worthy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Inderjeet Singh, because this is whose only esteemed guidance we could discharge our duties so beautifully, so well, because each and every person has and the encouraging words, and only with those very words and with those very pushes we can do everything to a grand success. And with this, I'm thankful to my dean as well, Dean College of Dairy Science and Technology, Dr. Ramnik Verma, the DR of the university, Dr. JPS Gill, the Dean PGS, the Dean Postgraduate Studies, Dr. SK Upal, for their unended support and designing this webinar so beautifully that we can execute this webinar and we can lead to this great success. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Patil, sir.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
Thank you, sir. So you, with very tight schedule, I think you have given your time to deliver the lectures. Thank you so much, sir.
Really, it was tight schedule. Day first arrived from the native of 11 days tour. And yesterday only day I had a time. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
bye.
That's all.
Bye.
Gurveer?
Guru, photo ले लिया?
Now I
Gurveer?
request, sir, I had clicked, sir, but students had, I request the students please on their webcams so that we had a photography session with the students. Students, please on their webcams.
Student, please on your webcam. Vinod, Jay, on your webcam, right? Nishan, yeah, good. Manhat.
Yes, Venus, I had clicked. Thank you.
Thank you all once again. All the participants, I think it is very important to have a participant for a webinar for anything. If we want to, for a effective thing, for effective anything, it is important to have a participants also instead of your organizing committee as well as speakers. So participants, the participation of participants is very important. You have attended the webinar for 2 days. I'm thankful to you. I hope you will learn something as to become an entrepreneur. Thanks to all the participants as well as my HOD for supporting this webinar, and all the Gurveer who has supported this webinar throughout the poster meeting and everything, and all my colleagues and my senior teachers as well, Dr. Rekha, Dr. Ritika, Dr. Sunil Kumar, and Dr. Punab Kumar. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to all. Now I am disconnecting.